welcome back to another episode of Chase for the Checkers. I'm your host, Maddie NASCAR, and this week we are going to be talking about the All-Star race at Dover, a race that we are all so excited about. I tell you what, yeah. Well, look, before we get into whatever this race is going to be in my picks, let's talk a little bit about Watkins Glen last week. Added another checkered flag. My checkered flags are just falling now. I say it every week. I got to find something to do with them. We're up to 9 now. Last week, look, it was SVG1. We got that right. I'm not claiming to be an expert or anything in general, but especially after picking SVG to win a road course. I mean, come on. And then I had Chase Briscoe top 10, Michael McDowell top 10. Both of those, I'm surprised we got plus money, but we did. So we got those 2 top 10s and that winner. So back on that streak. Hopefully we can keep it going. Although we will not have any top 10s with this. I don't think they've even offered them. But obviously with it being not a points race and not, I guess I don't even know how it works again. I guess everybody's racing. I don't know. Anyways, I just did winners and I did one other bet. I did one prop that we'll get into. But I just did winners. It is a small card this week. So just talking a little bit about this All-Star race. It's at Dover. In case you don't know, a lot of people aren't looking forward to it. I'm honestly one of them. I don't like to be a Debbie Downer. I like to be as positive as I can because I really love this sport and I just try to, enjoy as much as I can. That's just how I am in life too. Glass half full type of guy. But this one's hard. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping we have a good race, but this just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can at least make some money off of it. So I will also say with these picks, I'm just going to give you picks. I'm not going to say the number because when I wrote my article, which hopefully you are following me on Substack and you get the article early, whatever it was that I was looking at on Action Network, it had changed by the time I posted the article. So within like 30 minutes, a lot of the numbers changed. So what I have on the article, which is what I usually go off of when I'm doing this video, unless I know that there's been a change, but they like all changed and I didn't have time today. So I'm just going to give you the pick. I'm not going to tell you what number I got them at. But yeah. So anyways, I spent enough time talking about it. Let's jump into it. For winners this week, I do have Denny Hamlin. He is the favorite. I said that I had him at 430. I think he's dropped down now. But I did take him on FanDuel. I think that might still be the best place to get him. Actually, let me do this for you fine folk. Let me just pull up Action Network. And if you don't mind, I'll try to give you some of the numbers live. Denny Hamlin, it looks like your best odds are 450 on BetMGM. But I got Denny. He's the favorite here for a reason. He's won the last 2 races here. He's been phenomenal. You could say outside of Tyler Reddick, he's been the best driver so far this season. His last 3 races here, like I said, he has 2 first place finishes and a 5th. His average finish is 7.0. He's got the best average speed ranking at 4.0, second best average driver ranking at 4.8. Basically, you can just always expect this 11 car to be up front at Dover, to be fast, and to do well here. And Denny Hamlin has a new mouth to feed at home. He's got a race team. He has to sign here. He signed Tyler Reddick for a big fat deal that I'm sure is worth more than what it was originally going to be after he has dominated this early part of the season. He's probably going to have to still pay off some lawyers from this last season's shenanigans. $1 million would go a long way for Denny Hamlin is what I'm trying to get at here. So I'd like to see Denny Hamlin win it. I think that he has a real shot to kind of do the All-Star race. Looking forward. He was really fast at the Brickyard. I'd like to see him get his first Brickyard, and then maybe gets his first championship. That'd be a pretty big year for Denny Hamlin, but that's all future stuff. Just focusing right now. I like him to win 3 in a row here at Dover and win the All-Star race. My next pick is not going to be a surprise if you have noticed the hat, although this isn't his sponsor for this race. But it's Chase Elliott. And right now, the best odds for Chase Elliott, Mr. Most Popular Driver, is plus 850 on FanDuel. Elliott has been one that's honestly surprised me this year. To already have 2 wins. One at Martinsville was kind of a pit strategy thing. The one at Texas was a lot more, I don't want to say deserved or dominant, but just more earned, I guess. I don't know how to best explain that. Chase sexuals, don't come after me, you crazy Chase Elliott fans. I can say that because my wife is one. So, Dover is a place where Chase Elliott and this 9 team have been really good. They've done well here. Hendrick as a whole has done well here for a while now, but Elliott especially. He has, let's see, he is second best average finish at 5.8. That does include a win here. He's second best average speed ranking at 4.8. He's third overall in average driver ranking at 8.0. They have been pretty much the best Hendrick car. I think Larson has maybe led more laps, but Elliott's got the wins, and he's higher up in points. He's been the most consistent Hendrick car, and if he can find a way to be up front, which I imagine they will be, and put themselves in contention, there's a good chance that he can get another All-Star race win. It would be his second, and would be a pretty popular one, obviously, because he's the most popular driver. So I like Chase Elliott to win his second All-Star race. Another guy that I have to win his second All-Star race is Christopher Bell. I have him, let's see, you can get him at plus 900 on MGM or FanDuel. This is the best place you can do that. Bell was won last year's All-Star race. He's looking to go 2 in a row. Only 2 other drivers have done that, Jimmy Johnson and Davey Allison. So he would be looking to be only the 3rd driver to ever do that. As far as his stats here at Dover goes, he has a 15.5 average finish. He's had some bad luck here at this track, which makes it average a little bit worse than what it probably should be. Last year he had a car that was able to contend for a win, was going to probably contend for a win, but had some problems. But he's got a 9.5 average speed ranking and 11.0 driver ranking here. The Toyotas are fast. He's been fast, just had some bad luck. So I like Christopher Bell to use this race to kind of have a good bounce back after a somewhat disappointing start to the season. And I like them to use this to kind of right the ship, because obviously, no matter how many problems you have, $1 million takes a lot of those problems away. I know a lot of my problems. I know what they say, more money, more problems. But if somebody gave me $1 million, I can think of a couple things that are problems for me that would go away. So, that sounds bad. It sounds like I'm going to put a hit out on somebody. I'm not. But anyways, Ty Gibbs is my next pick. You can get him at plus 1,400. That looks like you can do that on BetMGM or FanDuel. Gibbs has been really impressive this year. Obviously, he got his first win. It was at Martinsville, which is a track that is loosely related to this track. Kind of similar-ish. So take that with a grain of salt. But he's shown speed here in the 3 years that he has raced. Every year he's gotten a better finish. So in 23 it was 13th. He was 10th in 24. And then he finished 5th last year. He ranks top 10 in average speed as well as average driver ranking. And Gibbs is used to performing at All-Star Weekend. He is a All-Star Open winner. I don't know if that means anything for you. I just thought I would say it, make myself sound a little bit smarter, a little bit more NASCAR knowledge for you. But now that he's locked into the main show, doesn't have to do the race, I think he's got some confidence going for him. And I definitely could see him, excuse me, being a contender when all is said and done. And then the next guy I have, you're going to notice a trend here, because I'm rounding out the Joe Gibbs Racing team. I've got Chase Briscoe at plus 1,600. At least that's what I took him at. But his best odds are still plus 1,600 on Caesars, it looks like. As a Briscoe fan, I am eagerly waiting for his first win, as are a lot of people who are fans and just people who know that it seems like that is eventually going to happen. The 19 team has been really good. They've been really fast. They obviously won races last year. So it seems like it's more of a matter of if and not when. Here at Dover, you have to really just kind of look at last year. That's been the trend with Briscoe, because he's only been in that 19 car one season. And before that, he was with Stuart Haas, who he was probably the best after the Harvick era there. Or I would say he is. He's the only other person who's won since Harvick left and the Stuart Haas team. But you have to look at really just his Joe Gibbs season last year. So last year, he finished second. He had the 6th best average speed rank and 3rd best average driver rating. So I'm looking, I think this is another driver who we've expected him to maybe already have a win. He does not. He's had some bad luck as well this year. This is a great time to kind of right those wrongs, get going on the right path, getting ready for the long summer haul of races before the real, stretch for the playoffs or not the playoffs, the chase starts. And hopefully he can do something. There's a lot of stuff that Martin Truex did in that 19 car. Winning an all-star race was not one of them. So hopefully he can do something that his predecessor did not do and win the all-star race. But those are my picks. There's a couple guys on there, that I think it would be a good story. If Larson won, I think he would tie Johnson. I think Jimmy Johnson for the most, if I remember right. And then Tyler Reddick, if he won, of course, it would just kind of be a cherry on top so far to a very incredible start to the season. I didn't take those guys, though they would be good stories, but I just don't really trust Larson right now. Reddick's Dover stats are fine, but they're not, really jumping out at me. So I passed on them. What I do have, I've got one more play here, and I'm calling it the Monster Matchup. Here it is. The Monster Mile matchup, I should say. The Monster Mile matchup is Chris Buescher over Carson Hocevar, minus 115. When I first saw this, I took this on Caesars. It was 115 for both, but it blew my mind because it just feels like it should be Chris Buescher. Now, I don't want to take away from what Carson Hocevar has done this year. He obviously got his first win. He's been setting the world on fire. He's been a lot better. He's been fast. He's been consistent. I don't want to take anything away from him. But Chris Buescher is one of the most consistent drivers that we have in NASCAR. Even though he doesn't have all the wins, he's very consistent. So I thought, okay, before I just jump into this, I do want to trust my gut. But before I just jump into it, let me look at some more things, because I know Hocevar has been better this year. So, and the books are smart. Maybe I'm just thinking with my heart. So I looked into it. In the 12 races that we have done so far, Chris Buescher has beat Carson Hocevar head-to-head 8 of those times. One of the times that he did not was Talladega, which Carson Hocevar won. Chris Buescher was second, so still very close. So, looking at Dover stats, just Dover stats. Chris Buescher has a 5th best 10.8 average finish, where Carson Hocevar in his last 2 races here has an average of 28.5. So, I don't know if there's going to be any pressure for Carson. He doesn't seem like somebody who really cares about pressure. So I don't really want to go with that narrative that, oh, is the All-Star race going to be too much pressure for Carson Hocevar? I don't think it will for him in general, but also I think a lot of them just think it's another race, especially at Dover. No offense, Dover. But I just think Chris Buescher and that RFK team, they're just so consistent. I can see Carson Hocevar going for it, getting himself in trouble. I can see some of those guys who, you know, he's maybe rubbed the wrong way, not cutting him as much slack, you know, because it's not a points race and it's really not as big of a deal. I don't know. I mean, a lot of times drivers don't do that. But I'm trusting my gut. I'm putting more units on this than I have, I think, just about any other bet I've ever done. Just because it's a small card. It's the All-Star race. It's all or nothing. It's about big money. So this is my Monster Mile matchup. Chris Buescher over Carson Hocevar. I'm all in on Mr. Buescher. Been high on him this year. I think he gets it done for us this week with that. And if he doesn't, if Carson Hocevar wins, I don't know, Carson, I'll buy a hat or a shirt or something. I don't know. But that's my big pick right there, my big play that I will have for the All-Star race. And that rounds out my card. Like I said, it's small. Don't have a lot of stuff that I liked. They're also not offering a lot of stuff. I mean, you don't have the All-Star Open to bet on or anything like that. So, 5 winners, that Monster Mile matchup. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Am I a fool for not taking Larson or Reddick or somebody else that might be on your radar? Am I a fool for not trusting the hot hand that is Carson Hocevar right now? Is Buescher going to make me sad? I hope not. I don't think so. But comment below. Let me know what you think about those. Let me know if you have anything else that you like. Again, like I said, I have an article that you can get these earlier. So if you don't follow that on Substack. And hopefully follow me on all my other social media channels. I do a race rating video. I do a flag stand segment, which is just a couple takes that I have after the race. And then I do a full post-race takes show on Sundays after the race. So those are all on my social media channels. Thanks for following. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Matty NASCAR. This is Chase for Checkers Show. Good luck chasing the checkers. See ya.